Okay, today on Brian's Train Room, we're talking dealer displays. We've shown a couple already, and let me tell you, dealer displays typically are big. They come in big boxes and sometimes even crates, but some dealers' displays come in small packages. This right here is a D-136, little small box right here. What's in the box? We're about to find out. All right, guys, so here we have the D-136, this really cool box. Again, it's not very big. Before we open it, let's figure out the dimensions of this little guy, okay? So the first is this thing's about 6.5 inches by 6.5 inches by about 2.5 inches tall. So it's really one of the smaller display boxes that you would get. And let's figure out what's inside this thing. Pretty neat stuff has got to be inside here. So I'm going to flip this thing open to where it's open, and let's figure out what we got. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh my goodness. There's a bunch of letters in here. So we're going to kind of get these little letters out of here and try and figure out what we got. All right, so let's put the box off to the side here. There's like an A, an S, an N. Ooh. Oh yeah. Wow. Look at that. Got the little circle L. All right, so let's kind of figure out what this says here. All right. So we're going to put the L right here. And I do see an L here. So these are Lionel. So let's see if we can write what I think this writes here, okay? So we're going to put the L here. I O N E and L. Perfect. And oh yeah, I get this. And then we have T R A I N, and the S doesn't quite fit. We'll push all this over. There we go. Wow, this is absolutely fantastic. So this little set, our little dealer display, the D-136, would have been sent to dealers, and they would have gotten this box of letters to be able to display them any way that they felt like they needed to. And again, the whole goal here is to show Lionel Trains. Absolutely fantastic. Okay, let's take a closer look at two of the items that are in these box of letters, the D-136. So the first is, let's take a look at the N. Essentially, the letters are sort of a red enamel. They have a white backing, and they measure about, we'll do some measurements here. Let's just say these are about 4.5 inches tall, and they're about 1/4 of an inch thick, okay? They're kind of a fiber board, very thick, very rigid, really cool piece there. And then if you take a look at the Lionel L, this is the stylistic L that would have been typical of the mid-50s Lionel logo. And again, same thing, it's about 1/4 inch. And this is around, let's see, let's get a measurement on this little guy here. It's about 6.5 inches wide. So really cool. All the letters kind of fall into that little format. These are really fantastic, and a nice little close-up of a few of the letters. The D-136 set of letters that spelled out Lionel Trains was made available in mid to late 1956. Photos of the letters in use are shown in the two photos taken from December 1956 and April 1957 All Aboard magazine, which was distributed to employees and service stations. To date, there is no advertisement or mention of these being available for dealers to purchase, and I'm wondering if there may have been given to dealers by their sales representatives instead of being ordered. These would have been easy to transport due to their size, and both boxes I have observed did not have any shipping labels applied. I would love to hear more about these super cool letters from fellow collectors. Okay, so this is the topper for a D-133 display layout. It was produced around 1956, around the same time that we're suspecting that the D-136 letters were made. And the reason for that, noted dealer display collector Bob Horton recommended that, hey, these letters came from when they punched these out, because these are punched out from this material here. So we're going to check to see if these letters from the D-136 fit and match up with the lettering from the D-133. That's absolutely fantastic. Let's check it out. Okay, the first piece we'll look at is the stylized Lionel L. Notice how this is just in white, which is appropriate for the D-133. This is the one that would come with the D-136, which has been painted this red, but has a little bit of a white background, okay? All right, so the first thing set up is the thickness correct? And the answer is it's spot on right there. They're the exact same thickness. And then when you cover them up, if you take a good look at that too, absolutely perfect. Okay, so these were punched and made at the same time. Okay, so the next thing we need to take a look at are, well, what about the letters, okay? Did these punch out letters, do they match up within reasonably of the letters that you would see on the D-136, okay? So this is the L, the I, and the O. Let's see how they match up. So the first step here is we're going to take a little peek, and the L does have the same sort of dimensions, slants, everything here that you see. And try and pushing it into place. I don't want to force it, but for the most part, these are pretty spot on. I don't necessarily want to force them in. Remember, these are also painted. These weren't the exact letters that were punched out from this particular display, so there's certainly going to be some variances, but it seems to fit spot on. Let's take a look at the eye. Same thing with the eye too. If you notice how the eye has a little bit of a sort of a slant to it, these aren't exactly rectangular the way that you see them, and so is the cutout the same way. So we'll take a little peek here, and sure enough, these seem to sort of fit right into place. L, I. The O is particularly interesting too, because it's not just a specific or exact sort of oval or circle. It has a little bit of a sort of a cant to it to some degree. So when I take a look at the O, all right, it doesn't fit this way, but as you rotate just a little bit too, it literally, oh, by the way, they fall off sometimes, and fit right into there. Here's the L, it is undamaged and fits right back into place. I gotta tell you, L, I, and O fit beautifully. I've taken a look at some of the other letters and they all match up great. This is absolutely incredible. This is where these guys came from. Okay, I gotta tell you, based on what I'm seeing here and the fact that the L and the Lionel letters seem to fit fairly closely together, the thickness is spot on, I'm sold. That's where these came from. Okay, so if we have all these letters and all this great space, if I would have gotten a D-136, well, what would I do? Well, this is Brian's train room, so let's see what we can do. Now, the only issue with it is there's no B in Lionel Trains, so we got to figure this out. So I made a B to go with it. Now, these aren't real, but that's okay. For this purposes, I got a B. And we're going to take our R, I, A, N, and S. Brian's. Perfect. Now, the next is we're going to do a T, R, A, I, N, S. Brian's train. And then we have R, and we're going to use our circle L as an O, O, and there is no M. So what we're going to do is we're going to take an N and another N, and we're just going to kind of make it look like an M. Cover this little guy up. Room. Brian's Train Room. Alright guys, that's my video. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more of it, hey, like and subscribe. I'd appreciate that. Also, want your feedback. So down below, great place to add that. Let me know how I'm doing and ways I can do these videos better. I don't do this alone, so I have lots of help from friends and fellow collectors, and there's some names at the end of the guys who've helped me really make these better and shared their collections that I can share with you. So, appreciate it. Thanks for joining me on Brian's Train Room.